Hello
And welcome back,
To Read the Room,
a Culture Club.
a podcast by
Alexys.
Kaylin.
and Larsen.
Today, our episode is a mini episode on the Florence and the Machine field trip that we all went on. We saw Florence on her Everybody Scream tour in San Francisco.
We sure did, and it was life-changing.
And it just feels like a good time considering she had an album come out last year to dive into Florence.
And she's timeless.
Yeah, she is timeless.
After the concert, we were listening to old albums from oldest to newest, and that first album is just full of bangers,
Yeah, absolutely.
and much earlier than we all thought as well.
Yeah, I guess her first album
It
came
wasn't
out
earlier than I thought because I was like, I remember listening to this
Yeah.
album
That's actually
driving
right.
to school when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6th grade, and that would have been 2010? 2009?
2009.
Yeah, 2009.
Yeah, first album, Lungs, came out in 2009. And I think we've all been fans for a minute. I mean, obviously, for Larsen, at least since 6th grade, an OG.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, dear listener, getting to the concert was its own comedy of
Yes.
errors.
Yeah.
There was a series of unfortunate events for both methods of travel.
No one
Yeah.
came out unscathed.
No.
Yeah, we would have taken a car. We would have taken a train. We would have taken a boat to get to Florence
Yeah.
in the Machine. Larsen and I were taking the train from Sacramento to San Francisco. Our first train was canceled. Then poor Larsen's Uber was late to get to the train station.
I timed it so poorly that I arrived to the train station 3 minutes before the train was supposed to depart. And if you've never been to the Sacramento train station, it's like a mile from the building to the train tracks.
Yeah, it is quite a jaunt.
Yeah.
I've never actually had the opportunity to take a train in or out, but I waited for my sister at
Mhm.
that train station, and like I could see she got to the train station
Mhm.
and it took her like 20 minutes to get to the car, and it was 3 a.m, and I was
Yeah.
upset. But that makes me feel better that it's not necessarily her fault.
Yeah. So I get there. I literally run from the train station to the tunnel, and then I'm seeing this large mass of people, and I'm like, well, I think that's my train,
Probably.
and there's no train, so I could probably stop running.
Yeah.
Yeah. And indeed it was. And we proceeded to wait there for at least another 15 minutes.
Mhm.
Like the train,
At least.
at least.
Wow.
The train was not on time.
Yeah.
It was a pretty warm day. Both Lars and I are sweating.
Yeah. And then once the train arrives, they're like, don't board, don't board, don't board. A bunch of people get off. And then for the next like 30 minutes, they're cleaning the train.
Right.
We don't even make it to Davis by the time that we're supposed to have made it to the bay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we ended up being so very late, which like we had originally intended to be so very early. So we weren't going to miss the concert. But by the time we got off the train, got on the BART, got to San Francisco, got to the hotel that we were staying at for the night.
Like 15 minutes to get ready
Yeah.
in order to leave in the time that we wanted to. So we were like weighing, okay, do we want to get there when the doors open, or do we want to have clothes and makeup and hair
Yeah.
done?
Yeah. And Kaylin, you had your own troubles.
I drove across the entire state of California. I had a work thing in Reno. I had to drive. I left around 3 o'clock. And it was pretty smooth travels. And I didn't think about the fact that I was going to get to Sacramento at 5 o'clock. So that was a little rough. The where the 80 kind of turns into the 50 there for a second was not fun. And then the rest was pretty smooth. I had no traffic getting to the bay. But then I spent anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, who knows, just driving around, trying to avoid Waymos that were not doing the correct things, blocking traffic, not letting people turn, almost having a mental breakdown. And then I ended up paying $75 to park next to it was pretty easy to get out of there, I will say.
Mhm.
But it was $75 for what? 3 hours, 4 hours of parking, which hurt my soul, but it was to save off a mental breakdown. So I also did not, well, you did make the choice to do makeup over getting there a
Mhm.
little bit earlier, but I had to just be fully, completely naked in my vehicle for a short amount of time while I changed, and then just didn't have time to put any makeup on, so just ran down there, met you guys getting off the BART, and
Yeah, the public transit.
yeah.
Yeah, and so by the time we made it through the
We
doors,
were just happy to be
Yeah.
there.
so happy to be there.
In San Francisco, Mannequin Pussy opened for Florence, and we got there a little bit before, or a little bit into the set.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've ever listened to any Mannequin Pussy.
Yeah, Alexis and I were talking on the way there. I had one of their songs saved, but it was like probably just popped up on some random
Mhm.
playlist and I saved it. When we were at the concert, I was like, I don't know if I've heard any of this.
Yeah, and it made me feel old because I was like, I don't understand what she's saying. But it was a good vibe. It was a good vibe.
Yeah, my boyfriend had been really excited for us because he likes Florence. He's not a hater, but he's also not like a diehard. It wouldn't have been his concert of
Mhm.
choice. But when he saw that Mannequin Pussy was the opener, he was like, "Oh my gosh, they're so cool! I'm so jealous." So I had like a little bit of a high expectation, I
Mhm.
guess, but also at the same time, yeah, it was like I don't know anything really about them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They were good.
yeah. She be screaming, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that there was a moment, Mannequin Pussy was already on, and I will say they were like very punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And there was a moment where I turned and looked at wide-eyed at Larsen. I made eye contact. I was like, "Oh, this is what it is." Oh. Not
Yeah.
not with hate,
No.
No.
just with surprise.
Shock.
Shock.
Yeah.
One thing that we need to talk about though is that the lead singer of Mannequin Pussy
Mhm.
had a specific way of speaking to the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I assume as a form of stage presence.
Yeah.
She was speaking like this in between the songs and letting you know what this song was about. And it was breathy and like
Yeah, it was breathy and almost like, I don't know what the right way to phrase it is, but like trying to be the sexy young girl.
Yes.
And I
Mhm.
Almost like trying to be like underage hot.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I do know that there is like this kind of juxtaposition with often with like female led punk bands
Mhm.
where you have this hardcore music
Yeah.
and then you're wearing baby doll dresses or you're wearing makeup in a certain way or you're presenting yourself in a
Mhm.
certain way, speaking in a certain way. But it was a little bit in the moment like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah. It was just again, just a little bit of a surprise, but she won us back a bit because she
Mhm.
did give kind of a female empowerment
Mhm.
slash working class empowerment centered speech, and then she had everyone do their first collective scream of the night. I know you guys
Yeah.
said first.
Yeah.
It was-
say,
yeah.
First of many.
Yeah. But okay, in this moment,
Yeah.
a lot of people are still entering.
Oh yeah, it was like
Oh,
empty.
yeah.
Yeah, but we had a group of people pass in front of us
Mm.
to get to their seats, which they could have come in from the other side. They went all the way to the end. But in that motion of standing up quickly, my bodysuit came unbuttoned.
Oh yeah.
And I was wearing a somewhat sheer dress.
Yeah. Full bush out.
Yeah. So I was like, I think I need to go to the bathroom and try to
Imagine the horror of having your snap buttons pop open.
so I was trying
Snap button open, snatch open.
we had a emergency break. And by the time we got back to the bathroom, settled in, perfect timing
Mhm.
for Florence to
Yeah,
to
literally perfect
arrive.
timing.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they had to do their between set things.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
And the stadium did end up filling out.
Yeah.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
well,
it was definitely full by the time Florence was on, and that was like really the only downtime throughout the entire concert.
Yeah.
Which mad respect because there was not that much time between Mannequin Pussy and Florence the Machine. I've been to many a concert where it's like 30 minutes or more between the
Mhm.
opener and the main act,
Yeah.
which just sucks. You know the schedule.
Mhm.
Are you not ready yet? What's the deal? But throughout the entire show, all of Florence, there was no downtime. If she needed to be off stage, there was something happening.
Mhm.
There were the only moments where like there wasn't anything happening was short, less than 10 seconds of like complete blackness between
Mhm.
songs, which was I think just a really well done set.
But yeah, they must have like had the tech on the show
Mhm.
very dialed in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, the set itself is very minimal.
Yeah, super simple, but what they did with it,
Mm-hmm.
amazing. The lighting I thought
Mhm.
was great. Like you're saying, like very minimal, but what they did with the lighting was so intentional. And even the lighting like into the crowd, into the pit, I
Mhm.
felt like was much more intentional than most concerts are with their lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the lights were really added so much to it. Like I have a video that I've been rewatching for I didn't take many videos because I was trying to be really present, but
Yeah.
I took a few. I took one during Seven Devils
Mm-hmm.
and there's this red light
Mm-hmm.
and it's all around her and then they had really useful video screens.
Yes.
Sometimes when there's too much video screen at concerts, I feel like it takes away
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, well, now I'm just watching the video screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They had a screen that was behind kind of the main stage
Mm-hmm.
and then they had a four-sided kind of like banner screen up at the top of the
Yeah.
Just like your
stadium.
Yeah.
stereotypical jumbotron.
Yeah.
Right, like yeah,
Exactly.
Jumbotron. And I liked that setup versus like at some concerts you have like two giant screens on either side of the
Mhm.
stage.
Yeah.
Well, and they used it too, where like each screen at times was
Yes.
showing something different.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think almost the entire concert it was showing something different.
Or at the very least, there was a couple where that were mirrored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciated that because I think sometimes the screens are just used to show who's singing, which is fine.
Yeah.
But the dancers, which we'll talk about more later, they were phenomenal. And like one of the screens was almost completely on one was on Florence and one was on like the something else happening, which I thought was a good utilization of those screens.
Yeah, the combo of the lights with the video editing and there was effects on the video and there was
Mhm.
different video footage shooting different things, Florence plus other things. It really added to the atmosphere
Yeah.
of the show for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like a lot of times the video was background was like blacked out and it was just kind of like an aura around her, whether it was like white or different colors. It was just it was
Mhm.
done so well and so beautifully. There was a lot of artistry in this entire thing.
Yeah.
But those dancers.
The
But both
dancers.
Alexys and Larsen independently said, "How do I get that job?"
Yeah.
As we were watching the dancers.
Yeah, it was so funny. Kaylin was sat in the middle and it's a concert, so you can't always like lean over and like talk as a whole group.
Mhm.
So I just think that's so funny. At different
Yeah.
moments, Larson and I individually leaned over to Kaylin and was like, I want that job. I
But
want
they
to be
were
in the witch choir.
The witch
yes,
choir,
the witch
yeah.
choir. They were so great. It was only 4 of them and they just worked so well as a unit and it was so much not like not stereotypically beautiful things. It was a lot of jerky
Mhm.
movements and a lot of
It really reminded me, if you've seen Nosferatu,
mm-hmm.
the scene with Lily Rose Depp, where she's like kind of ripping off her dress.
Yeah.
It was that similar vibe in dance a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. A lot of hair flipping and flicking and hanging and grabbing
Mhm.
and dragging and
Mhm.
Snarling and it was
yes,
like scary sexy.
primal,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
And it definitely captured like again a very witchy vibe.
Mhm. And there were at least 2 different parts where Florence like kind of kills them. Like one time she's like sucking their blood out of them, like she's a
Yeah,
vampire.
in Daffodil.
Yeah, and I can't remember what other song, but she was I think doing like kind of like slitting their necks or breaking their necks almost. But it was just so beautiful, and they worked so well, just like kind of as background for
Mhm.
Florence, but also like when Florence was participating, like it was just so well choreographed.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it
Seamless.
just added to like the vibe of Florence is like the ultimate like witch mother, like
Yes.
heaven
Mhm.
mother, like
And a lot of times it's again like that like gentle femininity
Mhm.
juxtaposed with this like raw primal
Yeah.
energy.
yeah. It created such a again very atmospheric, beautiful thing to like participate in
Mhm.
as a witness. Like you have Florence, who she herself never really was doing those jerky movements or those
Mhm.
particular kind of
No,
dances.
she's very light and flowy.
Yes.
All of her movements were so ethereal. But then you have these chaotic, almost feminine rage, but like in a powerful and still seductive way,
Mhm.
like beings all around her. And she's the calm in this storm. This
Mhm.
is cool.
Yeah, it was just overall like very very minimalist, even with the
Mhm.
number of people on stage, but everything was used so perfectly, and like everything on stage had a purpose. There was nothing
Yeah.
extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the machine stayed very much stationary in the
Mhm.
back. They were in their spot. They were not moving around the stage at all.
Mhm.
But I mean, they were still there, and there were like solos that were interludes between other songs and stuff on the set. But
Yeah.
it was all very beautiful.
Yeah, it was so Well done. Oh, also, I have to shout out the witch choir at one point was fully doing headstands also on the stage. There was a moment where they were fully upside down, and I just think that you got to be so confident
Yeah.
that you are not going to fall, which
Yeah.
just one more thing to praise them for.
Yeah, they were so strong and so flexible.
Mm.
Like you'd catch a glimpse of them and be like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, you're like in a back bend crawling around the stage or
Yeah.
something.
Yes, yes. Yeah, always something very visually interesting to watch, except
Mhm.
for a couple of the songs where it was just Florence on the
Yeah.
stage, like just her up there. But God, such beautiful concert the whole way around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had originally how the stage is set up thought that she like was anti-touch crowd, and I've never seen any clips of like Florence
Yeah.
on TikTok anywhere, which I feel like a lot of popular artists, you see a ton of clips on social media. Maybe it just hasn't been targeted to me, but I was shocked, I guess, at how much crowd work she did end up doing, because I thought it was
Mhm.
like, oh, this is going to be completely separate from the stage. But she like had a little platform kind of like the very front that she was on a couple of times. But then she did a lot of very emotional
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
holding, touching.
Oh yeah, she was up in that crowd. And even
Mhm.
before she got up in that crowd, like you can tell she does love a bit of crowd work
Yes.
because she would like mid-song like fling out a hand,
Yes.
you know, as to like kind of rile the people who were in the pit
Mm-hmm.
up or to get them to sing a
Mhm.
particular part,
To scream.
to scream, right at the get-go she's singing Everybody Scream
Mhm.
and there's lyrics in that song that go, everybody scream, everybody jump, everybody dance.
Mhm.
So I think she's having a lot of fun. I like to imagine she's having a lot of fun up there with the bits, but maybe that's also because if I was her,
Yeah.
I would be having a lot of fun feeling the power of like throwing out my hand to the right and watching everybody in that direction
Yes.
fizzle up for me.
Yeah.
That was kind of the more boisterous crowd work, but then yeah, you were saying Kaylin, she also had a lot of like emotional crowd work.
Yeah, yeah. And I think twice she went like around like the come on portion, which that
Mhm.
was
When she finished her original set, she
Mhm.
exited off one side through the crowd, and then she came back on the
Yeah.
other side with the crowd for the encore.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
went down a couple times.
Mhm.
And she was for a long stretch of time singing a cappella from Sympathy Magic
Mm-hmm.
and kind of was walking along and holding hand, holding hand, holding hand down a long stretch of crowd and singing in various tones and various volumes with
Mhm.
so much control,
Mhm.
but like to all the people who were in the front row. And a couple times when people seemed to be really emotional or when maybe just like she felt called to, she
Mhm.
even kind of like stopped and paused and stayed with someone for an extended moment. So she was definitely willing to connect. I
Mhm.
mean, we talked a little bit right after the show was over about, or maybe it was the next day, I can't remember, but we talked a bit about how like there is something to that can feel weird because of the parasociality of the people who are feeling such intense things
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
because they're in her presence, just because they're near her. But as an artist, she had such control
Mhm.
Yeah.
over, she had control over the whole stadium. Like
Yeah.
there were so many moments where you could tell that every person in the entire stadium, thousands and thousands of people, was on like bated breath
Yeah,
for her.
absolutely. As I was kind of like preparing for this episode, I saw from an article, Pitchfork, which is like an online music magazine, named this as one of 2026 most anticipated tours, and describing the performance as a place of emotional liberation and musical catharsis, featuring collective scream-alongs, hopeful manifestations, and the resounding belief that good will trump evil. And I do
Mhm.
feel like that is a very accurate portrayal of this concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very fitting because like as we were describing like the movements of the witch choir and
Mhm.
even just like some of the song titles, like it does
Yes.
feel on the darker side if like
Mhm.
if you're just thinking about it face value, but it was such a uplifting
Yes.
show.
And she multiple times would kind of like check in and be like, I'm with you,
Yeah.
like very positive, hopeful.
It did make you feel like very connected to everybody
Mhm.
else who was again in the stadium, which again is like thousands and thousands of people. But
Mhm.
there were moments where I felt so present and I felt so present with everybody because it felt like yeah, like on one hand, like we need this. We need
Mhm.
this catharsis. We need the release that comes with this like music. But also, on the other hand, there was a part of me that was like, the message that's in whatever she's singing, whatever that particular moment was, a message of love, a message of hope, a message of resilience, a message of release.
Mhm.
There was moments where I was just felt very keenly aware, like, everyone who is listening to this right now believes in this message.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that is powerful, like in
Yeah.
and of itself.
It was like, I don't know if it's just her crowd control, but I feel like that was one of the most respectful crowds that I
Except
have.
for one moment.
Which moment was
One
that?
moment when she was asking everybody to be
Oh,
quiet,
yes.
and there were people just over and over again, screaming very positive things, but
Yeah.
I'm like, read the fucking room.
Yeah,
She's
shut the
literally
fuck up.
telling you to be quiet
Yes.
for a specific reason, for a moment.
Yeah.
And people couldn't respect that. And I was getting really irritated. I hate when
Yeah.
people do that kind of stuff. I'm like, so you think you're more important than
Yes.
everyone else's experience here?
Yeah. You paid money to watch this. Shut the fuck up and watch it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the only time where I felt like people were not
Yeah.
actually.
Was
like,
that leading into the ritual portion, or was that a different moment?
I can't remember. It was towards the end, but I can't remember if
Yeah.
it was like all the way towards the end or if it was a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember if that, I mean, it's not
Yeah.
that important, but
Yeah.
so she does quiet everybody down and kind of give you a little pep talk about, you're here to be present and you paid money for this. Like,
Mhm.
be present. Everyone put your phones away. She was very,
Which I have thoughts about, like,
Mhm.
in general, when artists do that, because on one hand, I totally understand that, especially someone who's been doing this for a while. Like,
Mhm.
in theory, she's been touring for the last 16 years whenever she has an album coming out. And so she has seen the evolution of like phones being much, much
Oh, yeah.
more of a part of being like at a concert.
Mhm.
So I understand seeing like, we didn't used to do this.
Yeah.
But I also feel like at some point as an artist, you have to realize that people have spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars to come see you, and this might be the only time in their entire life that they get to see you live.
Yeah.
People are gonna want to have some memories, and I think that it's a little bit like, I think it talks down to people a little bit when you're like, if you're looking at your phone, you're not enjoying the concert. And I think that is objectively not true. If
Yeah.
you're on your phone your entire time,
Yeah.
sure, what, like, you're not actually taking in the whole
Yeah.
thing.
And like she specifically says, like, if you're holding your phone, you're standing still, you're not moving, you're not
Mhm.
dancing, you're not
Which
jumping.
I totally agree with
Yeah.
that. And then after, when she does this like ritual thing, and afterwards, it was like, it brought the crowd even closer together. You have
Mhm.
like even
Right.
more of this connection to people, which I do love.
Yeah.
But some of the language and thought behind it, I don't appreciate, because some people, like, we spent a lot of money and we were
Yeah.
pretty high up.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
were the tallest good seats.
Yeah. And so, like, imagine the people below us, like, hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
I think it's okay for people to want to have these memories.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you can always think about, like, actually that's not true. People lose their memories.
Yeah.
But there are things that like are ingrained in your head,
Mhm.
but a lot of times that information is, you just feel, you remember the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not as far as like Madonna, who makes you like lock up your phone before the concert.
Yeah.
But and it wasn't the entire thing.
No, it's
which
just
is,
towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I like, I understand what you're saying. I understand
Mhm.
what she's saying. Like, it's
No,
yeah.
I think for the most part she did it well and I enjoyed it, but there were just a few comments that I feel like can be kind of out of touch.
Yeah.
She does this every night. This is our once
Yeah.
in a lifetime opportunity for a lot
That
of
is very
people.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see both sides of it. On the one hand, like, people want to film, like, let them film. It's their concert experience,
Yeah.
right? Like, we all get to decide for ourselves
Yeah.
what our priority is. Do I think it's super lame when people spend the whole concert filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
do.
Or like what's it, Facebook living the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've all seen those videos of people like at festivals or concerts, and there's just a crowd of people standing there, like not doing anything. And
Yeah.
it is kind of
Right.
like, why did you spend money to just stand there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, do I think that it's extreme and exclusionary when you can't, you're shamed into not filming at all, and then you don't walk away with any
Mhm.
memories, like,
Mhm.
for sure. So I appreciate that it was kind of like somewhat in the middle. What I will say is that the moment when she was singing Dog
Dog
Days,
days.
Mhm.
yeah, Dog Days are over, and everyone's phone was away, and it felt like the whole stadium was jumping and
Yeah.
dancing, and no one
Yes.
cared what the fuck they looked like.
Screaming,
Yeah.
jumping, and dancing.
Screaming,
Yes.
jumping, dancing.
Yeah.
It was it was so freeing, and it
Mhm.
was
Well, I feel like cathartic is the perfect word.
Yes. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
absolutely. I felt a lot of bliss
Mhm.
from that moment, and that moment alone, like in an already very special concert experience, was like worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely
No,
worth it to put this one
I
there.
agree. Like once we did it, and it's not like I was like, oh, I wanted to
Like
film
upset
that.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
of course
but
not.
I
Yeah.
I just sometimes feel like that type of language, especially coming from someone who does this for a living, is a little
Yeah.
bit out of touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that feeling was like you're not going to get that
Yeah.
if you don't then do these things.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And multiple times throughout the concert we are like, is she Jesus? Like is
Yeah,
she's
it was giving mega church. It was
yeah.
giving Jesus with the disciples. Like,
Yeah, and she already like has a lot of I am king. Like that is
Mhm.
very religiously influenced. If like there's already a lot of things. I don't know if
girls against God, big
yes.
God, like,
Seven devils,
yeah,
like all these, yeah. So very much like I don't know if
iconography.
iconography, if that is the right term for what she's doing,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a lot of religious influence and like just her album covers and that kind of stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But she did very much. Maybe it's just the arms out all the time as she like glides across the stage. But
I do wish I had kept count of how many times she extended both
yeah,
arms out. That's her signature move, as though she was Christ the Redeemer.
yes. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she is
But
my
more
Christ.
beautiful, but more beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just absolutely giving God.
She is king.
What were your guys' favorite songs of hers to see live? Like which ones when she performed them live
Mm-hmm.
would you put at the top of the experience?
That's hard.
That is hard because I feel like there's some that I was pleasantly surprised because
Mhm.
of the performance of it all,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and some that I knew going in, like if she plays this, that's gonna be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that for some reason I just didn't think about Seven Devils before
Mm-hmm.
the show, and then when she played it, ooh, everything just came
Yeah.
together.
Mm-hmm.
It hit so good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I feel like it's basic of me to say that everybody scream, but like it was her opener. I feel like that
Mm-hmm.
was the best song to open on. Really set the vibe, and
Mm-hmm.
it was fun. Like it was just watching her is
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. It's so hard to narrow it down. I feel like for sure Daffodil. I was so excited that she
Mhm.
played that one. That's one of my favorites. But yeah, then there like Seven Devils. I was like, oh yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
But I feel like the most fun besides Dog Days Are Over with the
Yes.
whole crowd was King, because
Yeah.
the entire
Yes.
crowd was so into King that was another moment where like we were all connecting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that song and loved it live.
What was the one that she said she was never going to play again?
Never let me
Never
go.
Let Me
Never let me
Go.
go. Okay.
Yeah.
Because she's doing this whole introduction about why she never sung the song,
She
and
hasn't sang it in 10
yeah, she was
years.
properly English drunk, and then like in this time in her life, and like to both Larsen and Alexys, I was like, it's gonna be kiss with a fist. It's gonna be kiss with a fist. Like
Mhm.
it seems right for that moment.
Right. Makes
And it
sense.
sure wasn't, but it was still good.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting that it was Never Let Me Go, because the way she was explaining it was like she wrote it from a specific place and
Mhm.
didn't really, like going back to
Yeah.
that place when she sang it. But then the fans had loved it so
Yeah,
much
she's saying
and
like I've seen tattoos, and
yeah,
yeah,
kind of turned it into their own thing, and that's helped her to kind of like rewrite this song for herself.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It made me try to think like it made me think deeper about the lyrics of "Never Let Me Go" as she was
Mhm.
singing it.
I was gonna say that about all of them across the board because I am like when I listen to music, I am hearing the sound
Mhm.
much more than I'm hearing the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had multiple moments at the concert being like, oh, I am now understanding the lyrics.
Yeah,
Because it's not a part of music that I initially click with.
well, and also when you're just listening in the car, you're not seeing her face, and you're not
Mhm.
seeing the dancers. You're not seeing all of that. Like the visual aid, I think helps with the emotion
Mhm.
of the songs, and like I even think it's different than a music video. Like
Mhm.
in the music video, I mean, I don't know about Florence, but like sometimes it's doing a completely different thing than like the song
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Something else I really appreciated was I don't know exactly how a lot of large artists do their concerts these
Mhm.
days, but in the past when I've gone to an album tour for an artist or a
Mhm.
band. They're playing that album
Yes.
and then maybe one or two other songs that people
Yeah.
like.
And especially like she has, I think, 5 studio albums out. So you're thinking it is going to be just from the most recent one or
Mhm.
two albums for the most part.
And she really curated a specific vibe. Yeah, mostly from her more recent album,
Yeah.
but pulling in these ones that she knows her fans love or that
Mhm.
fit with the theme of the whole performance. And I really like that because like just said earlier, this could be a once in a lifetime opportunity to see Florence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool that she plays a lot of her
Mhm.
other music.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it's not like you're watching somebody who was only famous 20 years ago and like
Mhm.
they're playing their greatest hits, right?
Yeah.
Like like you're saying, is such a well-crafted mix
Mhm.
of the greatest hits, the recent stuff, and
Mhm.
the vibe. Just such a good vibe.
Yeah. Are there any songs that you guys wish that she would have performed?
I would have loved to hear My Love off of Dance Fever.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been really a fun one, I feel like, to hear.
Yeah.
It's more dancey.
Mm-hmm.
I also really, from the new album, I personally really like Music by Men.
Mm-hmm.
And would have, I don't know, been like right there along with her. If she sang it live, I'm sure that would have been like really, really fulfilling because it's just one of my favorites on the album for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't have, but the thing is that I also wouldn't have necessarily changed anything about the set list.
Yeah.
Only
that's-
additions. I wouldn't have taken anything
Yeah.
out.
I didn't go into it necessarily having a lot of expectations just because I was just like, it's gonna be what it is, right? So I don't know if there's anything that I wish she would have performed.
Yeah, I think I said when we were there, I was like, I could be here for 6 hours.
Yes.
Like, just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, it did not feel like we were there for 2.5 hours.
No.
I could have, and obviously that's a lot for her to do. Like, she's doing so much of it on her
Yeah.
own. She's running up and down, like Alexys was saying, a cappella for a lot of sections too. Like, that's takes a lot.
Yeah.
And already just how she sings
Mhm.
is more than like a Luke Bryan up on stage.
Yeah.
Like,
No, she's a
Yeah.
very powerful,
Yes.
talented vocalist. She
Yeah.
was working.
yeah.
But that's part of what made it so mesmerizing that we could
Mhm.
have been there forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Larsen, what songs do you wish she maybe played?
When I was thinking about this, I realized that like maybe I should have just gone to the Dance Fever tour because I love so many songs on the
Yeah.
album. There's not a single album of hers that I dislike,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but Dance Fever is like banger after banger after
Yeah.
banger. So I wish she would have played Girls Against God, Dream Girl Evil. Those are two of my favorites on that album,
Mhm.
along with Daffodil and King, which she did play those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also like Morning Elvis and The Bomb from Dance Fever. And then I can't remember which album this is on, but What Kind of Man? Is that on the second
I
album?
think that's on
Mm.
Ceremonials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What Kind of Man? I like that one a lot too.
Yeah. As I was sitting there, mesmerized, I was like, why don't I ever hear about like Florence and the Machine night at like a club or
Mhm.
Florence and the Machine spin class or anything like that? Like
Mhm.
there's so many other artists that get that like glory and like
Yeah.
she has so many
Well,
upbeat songs and
Yeah.
or like mixable songs.
yeah, I definitely agree with you, but I feel like when people think of her, they don't necessarily think of it being
Yeah.
that like poppy feel because it's not poppy
Yeah.
necessarily, but they are more upbeat
Mhm.
than you think.
Yeah. And like even if it's not inherently upbeat, if you're a good DJ, you figure
Very-
it out.
yeah, no.
There's a lot of fodder there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Honestly, I'd attend.
Yeah.
I'd attend a Florence and the Machine
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would.
themed dance party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we just host one?
If I was
Yeah.
in the club and a Florence and the Machine remix came on,
Yeah.
I would be throwing ass.
One thing that I personally don't like about any concert is the whole like encore thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a waste of time. Like most of the time they know they're coming back out
Yeah.
and like she already has the exact set list that she wants to do, including the
Yeah.
encore. She
They
knows,
know it's already pre-programmed. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's a waste of at least one song.
Mhm.
yeah, that you could have played. You could have played
Yeah.
a song.
And it's the whole
rigmarole. Just
yeah, and I don't know what the history of it is,
yeah.
but that kind of stuff just it bugs me.
Not our
Yeah.
fave ritual.
Well,
And it's not her specifically.
No.
Everybody does this.
yeah, something we saw the Bahamas in like 2017, I think,
Mhm.
and he was very funny with they're like walking off stage and he's like, guys, we'll be back in 30 seconds, we have to do this, it's like part of the thing, I know you have babysitters, I know you need to leave, we'll be back in 30 seconds,
Yeah.
like we just have to do this, which
Yeah.
you know, you're making fun of it, but like I kept telling Larsen because Larsen was like, come back out. Where's she going? Come back out. I was like, she probably needs to drink water. That girl's been singing her heart out.
Yeah.
She probably needs
No,
some water.
yeah, I do
that
get
is-
that.
That's very valid.
Yeah.
That is very valid.
She can drink water on the stage. Like, I won't judge her.
Yeah.
If she wants
But
to take
that
a little
ruins the
drink.
vibe. You want to see an Aquafina bottle on that stage?
It ruins the illusion that she's not
A
human.
god?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That she's all powerful.
But it is just like a waste of time. And I don't know if for some artists it's like a whole ego boost thing.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. And like I said, I don't know the history behind the whole encore thing because
Maybe we'll do
everybody
an episode
does
on
it.
that.
But to me it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
You don't need to fully exit. You don't need to do the whole bow. You don't need to do the whole like whatever. We all know you're coming back out.
Yeah.
Then on the flip side, why are you leaving early?
Yes. Oh
For
my god.
For someone watching the
Oh,
show, why are you leaving early?
We
Yeah.
had like the first group of people who walked past us to leave before the encore, I think.
Mhm.
They A should have walked to the other side just
Yeah.
logistically, and B told Larsen that she smelled good. And then this older couple did the
They-
same thing. They made an exodus.
They actually waited until she came back. She
Yeah.
had like
Yeah.
just come back on stage to start the encore
And then
songs,
they left.
and then they decided to left. So I was low-key a little pissed because I was like, this is like a moment where
Yeah.
she's like coming back on stage. She's gonna sing a song that she
Yes.
purposefully decided to put at the end for the encore, and now you're gonna walk in front of me.
Yes, there was like twice where I was like, you walking in front of me is actually ruining my experience. But
Yeah.
I understand people need to get to their seat.
It was minimal.
But
it was
then
minimal,
this older couple forgot their phone, so then had further interruption of us trying to like shuffle their phone back to the edge of the aisle when they came back, which is just like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna leave, get your shit like, it's upsetting.
I know that some people are like, oh, this is a good opportunity to leave and like beat traffic or
Yeah.
beat the crowds out of the arena. You went to a concert.
Yeah.
Just accept
Except
that
for your consequences.
you're not getting anywhere so much sooner than anyone else.
Yeah. And realistically, like we left, I mean, we were probably a little bit later than the crowd now that I'm thinking about it because we did wait in the merch line,
Mhm.
which honestly wasn't that long, high quality merch. But it took us 25 minutes to get to the hotel, maybe a little bit longer.
Mhm.
And there was just like one intersection that was like hard to get out of. And
Yeah.
like the rest of it was pretty smooth. It's San Francisco on a concert on Friday night. Like
Yeah.
you're going to have issues.
Yeah. Yeah, the exit time from the concert to the hotel was only like 6 minutes slower than what it would have been for us to drive from the hotel to the
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what's
It's basically nothing.
Yeah.
And I would give all of it again in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see her again.
I'd
Yeah.
give a kidney, maybe a toe.
We'll be patiently awaiting the next tour.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys don't want to go see her as she wraps up, I think, in England?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that
Pull that
together.
together. See if my budget allows for that.
Yeah.
Plane, trains, automobiles, and concert ticket again. Yep.
I'm so glad we got to see her, and I'm also so glad that she seemed, and of course, there's no way to know. Could be the parasociality of it all, but
Mhm.
she seemed like so gracious
Yeah.
on stage,
Mhm.
happy to be there, and truly grateful for the opportunity to get to perform.
Mhm.
And you know, part of like what inspired everybody's scream, she said in an interview, was that she actually in like 2024 had to cancel shows
Mm.
because she had a miscarriage from an ectopic pregnancy and had to have emergency surgery. And I remember she said a quote that I honestly thought was very powerful and very Florence. She said that the closest I've been to creating life was the closest I've been to death.
Wow.
And she put that grief and desire and femininity and rage and hope
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
all kind of like into the album, but also into the performance. So
Yeah.
there was a part of me that was just like, yeah, just happy to see her up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that
Yeah.
whole thing. That's crazy.
If you have not listened to Florence's discography, we are influencing you right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was actually thinking about making a playlist of start to finish because I was like, I should I should listen to this in its entirety more. Like
Mhm.
the most recent 2 albums, I've definitely listened like as albums,
Yeah.
but I don't think I ever listened to Lungs as an album. I've listened to probably all those songs on different playlists or whatever, but I don't think I've ever listened to that album in its entirety. And she is such an artist.
Yeah.
It's one of those where like the albums I think are significant to listen in their entirety by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Go listen to Florence.
Get out there. Okay, roomies. Thank you so much for listening.
We hope you'll keep reading the room with us.
So keep checking back for more episodes every Monday and Thursday that dive into the spaces where literature, media, and culture meet.
Please reach out to us at readtheroom@cultureclub@gmail.com for feedback and topic suggestions.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at readtheroom_cultureclub for the most up-to-date podcast information.
If you enjoy our podcast, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen.
And remember to take up space in whatever room you're in, especially if it's a Florence the Machine concert.
Bye!